How'd do? Time for Spider and Old Scooter again. I'm Old Scooter, this is Spider, and this is Guy. So I guess it's Spider, Old Scooter, and Guy. We're going to play Spider Solitaire. This is the Moth edition, because there are several moths in here. This is late. This is the last day in August, the 31st. And this time of year, every year, we get this incredible collection of very exotic moths. And they collect around the lights outside and so forth. And a couple of them are in here. And I thought maybe they would pass in front of the camera and have their 15 minutes, or 15 seconds, perhaps, of fame. So we're calling it the Moth Edition. This is a picture of me and my oldest son on a boat on the bay of San Francisco. There's the Transamerica Tower, Bank of America building. My office was over here, not for this picture. I haven't been in San Francisco as living there since 1980, but I did live there for 11 years. But this was just a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4, 5 years ago, last time I've been to San Francisco. I miss it. It's a nice city if you like cities. Of course, I live out here in the country now, and I've lost my taste for cityhood. So we're here to play the game, though, not to ramble on about my peripatetic life. We could, of course. I would think it was really interesting. You might not. So, we'll just make a few moves. I wonder if that was the right jack to put on there. We'll find out. We have 2 3s. It could go to this 4. I heard dogs crashing around downstairs. I decided I'll put, a picture every once in a while. I've put normal curves. I've put, what else did I put down there? But I'll find a picture occasionally and hang it down there. One I'd like to do is we have a nature cam up near a watering hole we built for the critters. We're quite in the country, and it gets very droughty around here, and we're on a game corridor for game. Goes corridoring by, and they need water, and I have a game camera, and I've got some interesting pictures, deer, coyotes, other nighttime denizens, and some daytime pictures. Some of the coyote pictures are daytime. Well, since I had 2 places to put those 3s, it didn't really matter, did it? Well, this is not a bad first deal. Today, the New Yorker came. It's always a happy day in the Scooter house when the New Yorker comes. Rather than show you a cartoon, I'm just going to show you the cover, which is a cartoon, this little kid, with his teeny tiny little screen when he's in the shadow of a giant, probably 4K screen. And there's an article I'll show you, but I'll show you later. What I'm going to do right now is play a couple of deals, off camera, as it were, and I'll be back on the 3rd deal and catch you up with what's happened with the game. So I'll be back in nothing flat. Things have been going extraordinarily well. Take a look. I've done a lot of restacking to optimize the stacks, and I have here a queen string just waiting to score when I move this over. I've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes punched in the thin blue line. This guy over here is quite promising, a king 4 stack. So the game has proceeded apace. And, so let's let's go ahead and cash in a chip. Boom! Big score, big score. When it's this good, this early, this many deals left, usually, it turns out that I win. I'll put this over here. Change the lighting a little bit. Last of August. Merciful days. And in Houston, the last of August, in fact, clear through October, but particularly the last of August and the 1st of September, some of the hottest time of the year. I thought about my moth, and earlier in the day I had a mosquito. And Houston, nobody's got air conditioning. Nobody has electricity yet, unless they have a generator. They're not going to waste it on their air conditioning, probably, because it takes an awful lot of juice, unless you've got a big generator. So these people down there are in this incredibly hot, incredibly humid, very buggy, and now, of course, this toxic water everywhere, and all the terrible bad, those poor people. I mean, I worry and empathize and so forth about the poor people in Yemen and the poor people in Congo and the whole Horn of Africa and down south from that, and all the places where people are starving and so forth. And cities are flooding all over the world right now. It's monsoon season in the South Asia, India. I once heard Houston described as, it's like Los Angeles with the climate of Bombay, which of course is now Mumbai, and Mumbai, nay Bombay, is flooded too. So that's a terrible thing, and people are suffering, but somehow it's more relatable when it's in Houston. It's the principle of proximity that they teach you about in journalism school. You know, the death across the street is more compelling news than the death of hundreds across the state or thousands across nations. It's weird. Somebody breaking their leg across the street is sometimes more interesting. So, we're halfway through the game. I'm going to press on rather confidently here. My son Guy here, my oldest son, he's a chief technical officer at a big deal market research company. It tests movies and TVs and commercials, TV shows and so forth in Los Angeles, in Hollywood yet. So to the right-wing crowd, anybody in Hollywood's a terrible, awful, traitorous, and probably communist person. I guarantee you my son is not any of those things. And he's been in Hollywood a long time. I mean, he's been in California his whole life. A lot of his time was in San Francisco. Did you see that? Be still, my heart. Give it a little headlight blast. New way to celebrate scoring. Hollywood. I lived in LA for a long time. The 60s. I was in Hollywood in the 60s. I wasn't in Hollywood. I was in Bel Air for a while. A house in Bel Air, on top of a hill, looking over a wonderful, natural, giant valley. Nothing in it except naturals. Creek at the bottom. Fantastic hiking right out in my backyard. Now, it's full of houses. Progress. Alright. I'll try to break out of my reminiscing mode here and play a little Spider Solitaire with a vengeance. This is a good hand. There is a chance I will win. I don't want to talk much about it, or I'll tempt fate into giving me a hard time here. So, this is 9-8. No, I don't want to do that. That's silly. What are you doing? But I think I will do that. No. I should love it. This game does let you try stuff without penalizing you, which means you should win it quite a lot, or I should win it quite a lot. Not the case. Spider McGillicuddy, Spider Mac, the artificial intelligence behind this game. See what that does. Ooh, that's me play that 7. Every card is a home run now when you get this far down. See, there are only 4 cards left in the defensive lines. This little foxhole is holding out. We'll get it, though. Boom! Knocked out one guy. Boom! Knocked out another guy. 2 deals left. Sometimes when it's going really well and everything is turned up, you have to be careful not to waste cards, because you end up with a hole and you can't deal the next card if you have a hole. Why doesn't that go somewhere? Go somewhere, you. So I think I'm going to do that. Oh, well, no, I can't. There's nowhere to go. Okay. Deal the next to last card, the penultimate card. My whole right leg went to sleep. When I'm winning, I hardly move the rest of my body because I'm so engaged, and things go to sleep. And usually, about the time they get thoroughly asleep, the phone rings, and I have to get up and go see if I can answer it. And it's dangerous, even if you're wearing a headlamp so you can see what you're looking at. If your right leg doesn't work, it's nearly always my right leg. You can fall over like a silly man. Plop. Well, this is going a little slower than I would have expected with how good it went at first. Phooey. So if I did that and that, and have this, nowhere to go. If I did this, maybe, no. Don't see what I could do with that either. Well, I'll deal the last hand, full of hope and confidence, optimism, unrealistic expectations, just like Majority Leader McConnell said of El Presidente, unrealistic expectations. I don't know whether I'm going to make it or not. I mean, 3 is good. I'm making a little money, $5.50 to break even, so see, I'm ahead. But I thought I was going to kick it here, I still may, but it's not falling together with the grace and ease I like to see games go when I'm doing well. I want to do weller. It, like great wealth, is a hoarding thing. All right, I'm feeling a little more confident now. Only 1 card not turned up. This is so good, I'll actually back out and come at it again from another angle if I don't manage to pull this off right now. I won't bore you with that. I'll just show you the results. Well, we're on the last card, gang. 2, 3, 4, 5. No 6 for that to go to. If I did that and did that, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that if I were you. That is a classic threat. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Sometimes it's just good advice, but if, say, I'm a cop holding a gun on you and you hear that message, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. 10, that's it. Yeah, oh, okay, now I got a little restack action. You probably saw that. I just didn't see it. Maybe useless, but it gave me a momentary heart flutter. We're going to run out of time before I run out of game. No. Self-delusion overcame me. Well, I am out of time, so I'll report back. If I manage to win this game, next time I see you here, I'll tell you I did. Let's call this game the Moth game, the Moth edition. So when I say, hey, I won the Moth, or I never won the Moth, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. Send money if you can to our beleaguered co-humans down in Houston. At minimum, send them all the good thoughts you can. Bye-bye.